All right, so we're about to go ahead and watch this video real quick. Trump orders release of alien UFO files. UFOs, y'all. Unidentified flying object. So the question is, what is an alien? Do y'all think aliens exist? We're about to see. We're about to go ahead and see. It seems like they do exist. And the White House wants to expose this now. Let me ask y'all this. Why do y'all think that they're trying to talk about the UFOs now? It's a lot of information at once. I mean, as y'all know, the Epstein files just dropped this year. Millions of files came out, and now you have this UFO files. So, nonetheless, we're gonna get right into it. Let's watch this video.
Here we have Avi Loeb, a professor of science at Harvard University. He has a lot of different titles and wears a lot of hats. Thank you so much for taking the time, Avi, to be here with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. And first off, I wanted to start by kind of going in reverse here. When you heard President Obama, former President Obama's comments there about aliens, extraterrestrial life there on that podcast, kind of tell me what was going through your mind at that point.
Well, what it implies to me is that there are objects in the sky that the government cannot identify, and perhaps other materials that were recovered on the ground that are puzzling. And frankly, the US government is not a scientific organization. So their duty is to protect national security. And obviously, the fundamental question is whether any of this data represents materials or technological gadgets from adversarial nations. But when they can't figure it out, it raises a lot of questions. It could be from out of this world. And for that, I think scientists can help government figure it out. And so my hope is that they will release as much as they can. And
You see this? I always see this on the internet. When it comes to UFOs, I'm always seeing this as like the number one clip. But honestly, I don't see much. Like all I see is a little black dot and this old looking, I don't know, like I don't even know what to call this for real. But it's like, I don't know, man. This is not what UFOs are. UFOs, they probably just, honestly, they probably live among us right now. They could be shapeshifting. They probably have the technology to shapeshift among us. They're probably already like in charge, running shit. Cause, I mean, in my opinion, I think aliens, they probably want control, they want power, and they probably just want to use us, and they probably feel way more dominant than us. So that's how I think aliens are. So, we'll see what happens with this, but let's continue. Just to recap, he was just talking about how Obama was on an interview just a few days ago, mentioned that he does know about aliens and he believes they are real. But he also said that they're not in Area 51. So that's what he mentioned. So he said he never seen an alien, but who knows, man? I mean, Obama was president. I'm sure he had some intel, but he's just saying that he believes in aliens, thinks they're real. So that's pretty big news. And now you have Trump. Now he's saying that he wants the Pentagon to release the files. So it's getting interesting, y'all. I mean, I just feel like it's kind of a distraction from the Epstein files, in my opinion, all this coming out at one time. So
I will be glad to engage with the White House, with the Congress, in figuring out the nature of those unusual phenomena that they
like that last thing looked like a bug. Like
noticed.
Do you think, based on what you've seen, past presidencies, past information that's been declassified, that we will actually get any new information here?
My hope is that we will, if it exists. and I haven't been privy to such information, so I don't know if it exists. But there are people talking about it that used to be in government. There are military personnel that definitely testified before Congress about unusual phenomena. And so the question is, what do they represent? And the best way to approach it is with a clear mind, a scientific scrutiny, and figuring out what these things mean. I'm leading the Galileo project that is collecting independently data by using 3 observatories, one in Massachusetts, another one in Pennsylvania, and the third in Nevada. And we're trying to see if there are any outliers among the millions of objects that we see in the sky. But presumably the US government has more data because they monitor the sky for a long while. And there are incentives for the Pentagon, for the intelligence agencies to keep it under wraps, because if it represents adversarial nations, then obviously you don't want to show the vulnerability of the US defense system. Also, if you can't figure out what an object means, it's actually embarrassing, because the defense budget is close to $1 trillion in 2026. So we're paying a lot of money, and yet we don't figure out some things. And so there is clear incentive for some of these organizations to keep it under wraps. But in particular, when dealing with data from 50 years ago, there is no reason to do that, because the technologies back then were not really relevant to the battlefield today.
Yeah, and obviously a lot of questions about when this is going to be released, when the files could be released, if we're getting video. There's so much information that we just don't know, and it could be a while before we fully kind of realize what we're going to see. But one thing that's important to note, and you kind of touched on this off the top here, is that when we're talking about UFOs specifically, we're not just talking about little green men coming from Mars. We're talking about a lot of different possibilities.
Right, and even if we think of biologics, we can only imagine life as we know it here on Earth, and there is much more real estate among the stars, and it may well be life as we don't know it. We're currently developing.
My thing, I don't think there's really life among the stars like that. I think the life is here and has always been here. I think, the ocean makes up way more than half of the earth. It's over like 70, 75%, maybe even 80. So the ocean is huge, and humans, we have no dominion over the ocean. And so we really can't explore the ocean. And that being said, I think the aliens, a lot of them, they in the ocean, and they can survive down there with ease. And the ocean's so big, I feel like the ocean probably even got spots where you can go in an underwater cave, couple of left turns, couple of, all of a sudden you pop out on land. You feel me? Like, apparently there's ancient cities down there. Who knows? But just know the ocean is huge. It's ridiculous. And we cannot explore the whole ocean. So I think there's ancient creatures down there. There's a whole lot on this earth already. There's nothing new under the sun, y'all. Hey, and the technology too, it's always been here as well. And if you just look at, if you just look at, some of the ancient structures, the pyramids and stuff, the stuff that we cannot make with our modern technology today, you gotta realize who made those things. It could have been aliens. Could have been the fallen angels, you know. And aliens is probably just a remarketing of fallen angels. Because you got David, Goliath. Goliath was a Nephilim. He was a giant. He came from, you know, fallen angels mating with women, human women. So that's how giants were formed, because you had the fallen angels messing with the ancient women. So that's how the giants came. So that being said, the fallen angels, they're very intelligent. They taught, the book of Enoch, it talks about how they taught men different things and gave men knowledge. And that's why ancient civilizations, they have these hybrid beings, gods, whatever they worship, because they were getting things in return. They were getting knowledge. They were getting, resources from these gods. So that's why they were serving them. And those gods, they still get served today. And that requires some evil things and blood sacrifice. And it's a deep. And that's kind of going into the Epstein files when it comes to all that too, because they was doing some wild shit. But let's go ahead and keep going.
Developing AI systems that have cognitive abilities that may seem similar to what we are doing, but not really. This is alien intelligence that we are developing. It's like putting a lipstick on a pig, trying to make it resemble us in some way. But these AI systems are made of silicon chips, not of flesh and blood. And the same if we find things coming from another star, they may be completely foreign to us. So my approach is similar to going on a blind date. It's better to observe the other side than to have a prejudice or an opinion about it beforehand.
And I wanted to ask kind of your take overall. And of course, you're interested in this, no question. But why do you think there is so much interest here nationwide, globally, when it comes to the potential for UFOs, extraterrestrials, all of that?
Well, are we alone is the most romantic question in science. And if we find that we have siblings in the family of intelligent civilizations within the Milky Way galaxy, it will have huge implications for our future. We may learn about new technologies, new science. They may inspire us to.
They already are. See, that's the point. And new technologies, new sciences, all of that, it's already happening. Just look at AI. AI is already one of those technologies that's literally groundbreaking for all of humanity. And that comes with the robots too, and the automation and all of those things that it does. AI, just think about it. AI, alien invasion. That's a part of it, y'all. In my opinion, that's a part of it. AI is a part of alien invasion because you got the robots, the humanoid robots that are acting like they're humans, essentially. They're made in our image, but humans, we are made in God's image. So man, he made man in his image. That's what God did, right? Now you got the robots made in our image. So it's a false human, basically. Look at it like that. But the AI, it's a good thing in some ways. I'm not gonna say it's all bad, and I'm not gonna say it's mostly bad. But I'm gonna say it can have its flaws. It can have a moment where it does have some big implications, especially considering that you got UFOs now, and the UFOs, aliens that they talk about, they probably made the AI. Just think about it. I mean, it's very advanced. All of the technology we have in the last 20, 30 years, it's all just sprouted up pretty fast. And I'm pretty sure the influence is coming from somewhere. And the Bible does talk about the fallen angels in the book of Enoch giving men knowledge. So that being said, it's just the same thing. Nothing's new under the sun.
Visit their backyard the same way they are visiting our backyard. It will change our potentially philosophical and religious beliefs about our place in the universe. It may bring people together because we will feel that we are all in the same boat here on Earth. There are huge implications not only to science, but also to society. And I think it's as big as any other discovery that we ever made, even bigger than that. So let's first figure out if the data supports it.
How do you go about making sure, and this is more a government question, but ensuring that you can release all of this, declassify it, but you're not actually releasing any sort of sensitive information that could put the country at risk?
Right. So first, the time filter. If we are dealing with old data when technologies were rather primitive here on Earth, then it's easier to identify things that are unusual, and it's also not very relevant to the battlefield today. So that would be my first priority if I were to decide what to declassify. But in addition to that, if it's beyond any doubt an object that behaves in ways that no.
And speaking of declassifying files and evidence and all this information that's coming about, I think it would be good to look at Daniel chapter 12, verse 4. And to paraphrase, that verse is talking about the increase of knowledge in the end times. The fact that we are learning the truth of what has been hidden from us, all these truths that are coming out that have been literally hidden from us, now that we're seeing the truth and it's being told to us, and we are now learning this information, the knowledge is increasing of what the actual truth is that's been there, but it has not been taught to us or even exposed to us. You feel me? So, that being said, to add with that, I would say artificial intelligence, iPhones, laptops, new technology, faster internet, all of this stuff, it just increases our ability to consume information and learn and have entertainment, all of this stuff. It's just more and more. So I ain't never seen a Bible prophecy that hasn't come to pass. And the Bible is just all about prophecies and literally a king and his kingdom. And it's, you guys got to get right with God because it's about your relationship with him and learning about him, repenting, being honest with them. Because it's like the prodigal son. Like God will take his child back. Like if you could have been doing so much wrong your whole life, but if you genuinely sit with God and pray to him, pick up his word, listen to his commandments, and literally just try and pick up your cross and follow him, it's going to be an everyday battle, but you got to pick up your cross every day you can. Now, some days you might drop it. You're not strong enough, but we're not going to be strong enough on our own either way. So do it with God and do your best you can, because you could do all things through Christ who strengthens you. And just know we all going to fall short of the glory of God. So you can't hold yourself to a standard to where you're, 100% perfect like Christ was, but do your best to follow him, follow his commandments, and pray, fast, repent, read the word, all of that.
Human-made technology can reproduce. That should be something that is shared with scientists, I hope, like myself, because there is no way that our adversaries could have used it. And one type of information, for example, that we haven't really seen is imagery from satellites. They have very high resolution nowadays, and they can easily follow.
That's a fair point. There's mad satellites above Earth, in the Earth's stratosphere. How come there's no high resolution videos or pictures of these aliens that's flying through the air? Why not? Is it because maybe they're in the water below and we can't really have cameras in the water like that? Um, who knows? Who knows? But yeah, these pictures and videos are showing us. It just screams bullshit because come on, bro. We're in 2026. There's no way you're gonna give me this and tell me it's aliens, bro. Like, come on, gang. Come on, gang. I need something better. I need to see something for real.
An unusual object, and if it flies beyond the flight characteristics of all the known vehicles that we ever produced, that could be shared with scientists like myself, and I'll be delighted to work with government figuring it out. This is really the most exciting frontier in science. It should be part of the mainstream, and as of now, academia is not really dealing with it.
I would say you're one of the best known, most well known names in this field overall. So I would not be surprised if the government calls you and kind of gets you involved in this. Avi Loeb, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. Anything we missed? Anything you want to add about all of this before I let you go?
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, that's that. Trump wants these files to be released as well. I say Trump is being used in an interesting way by God because he's the perfect person to let the truth be known. He's all about just spilling the beans. He's reckless. He's wild. He says what he wants to say. And now you see that files are being released left, right, and center. And we're seeing true colors of a lot of things, y'all. So, we got to roll with the punches. It's going to be an interesting few years. But just stay prayed up nonetheless. At the end of the day, get right with God, God above in heaven. Peace and blessings. I'm out.